for this single validation, and I didn't care who's it's gonna come from.
Formal attire rental. Ha? Rental ng formal attire. Just to swap.
I don't think he's himself at the moment. Like, he's a lot sicker than he's letting on. He's erratic. He's making bad decisions.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So, I'm back. I just got home from a nail appointment, and my nails are new and pretty. It's gold. It's my first time trying out this kind of design, and I actually like it. Every encounter I had with a boy was eventually just really an encounter with a new kind of rejection. And can I just say, this rejection came in many forms. It wasn't just in a direct confrontational no, I don't like you, but it came in many forms that wasn't as straightforward. Some outright ignored me, blocked me off from their life. They slowly built walls around me. And some of these people were people that I genuinely had a connection with. Some of these people were firstly became my friends, while some were just my seatmates, my group mate, and yeah, it was a mixture of both meaningful connections that I've already built and just some acquaintances or a friend that I've made for like weeks ago. But still, a rejection is a rejection, and it does have an impact to your self esteem for quite a long time. And I think because of these rejections that I accumulated over the years, and it just made my self esteem go whoop, which made me crave for validation from men because I thought if I would just have one person, one man, tell me, validate me, everything would be okay. Everything about my confidence is gonna go right back up. And I was desperate to look for this single validation, and I didn't care who's it's gonna come from. So I went on this journey of finding this validation, and I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of how modern dating works and how it's pretty much more on in the online platform, right? So yeah, I did explore that platform for quite a while, and all I can say is I regret it. It wasn't really a good time, but it was just really a venture of validating myself, seeing if people out there like me without really knowing who I am, like just on the surface level. Be honest with me. Do you think I'm likable on the surface level? That would be the kind of approach that I would have on this matter. And yes, I did get some validation at some point, but it wasn't the validation that I expected to get. It wasn't the validation that I wanted, because although it was there, but at the same time, it didn't last. I guess because it wasn't real. I guess that's what happens when you try to chase something that shouldn't be really chased. Most especially from sources that aren't credible. Maybe perhaps like people that don't really know shit about you. Yeah. And it took me the tough route to understand that seeking validation from people, especially men, is not really the kind of road that you want to go if you want to understand what it means to feel loved. So, after that exhausting journey of flirting with people that wasn't just into me, I got drained and exhausted, and I don't know if there is such a term as being getting burnt out from flirting, but you it is exhausting. It is exhausting to find out somebody's favorite color, favorite TV show, favorite movie, and have this kind of conversation over and over and over again, just for you guys to be temporary, not exclusive, yada yada yada. And yeah, that is my position at the moment. I wanna step back a little. I want to take you guys to a little moment in my life where I had an era. It's not necessarily men are trash era, but an era I would say where my pride has taken over me. And honestly, it was because of my pride that I resorted to ways that I will regret forever. Well, I will forever regret, that made me really venture onto adventures on my encounters with boys. Okay, so there was a time in high school that I would mask up my craving for validation with my pride. And because of this masking up, disguising of my true desire to seek for love, it made me build my walls around people, around men. But at the same time, it's also what fueled my like mirroring of personalities, making me really question who I truly am. Which is why at some point, after all of those encounters, all of those rejections, it came to a point where I was asking myself, if am I ever capable of love? Am I capable of love? But the thing is, I realized when I look back to my experience with pouring efforts to somebody, let it be my friends, boys, people who doesn't give a flying fuck about my presence. When I look back in retrospective, the kind of efforts and lengths I would go for these people to look at me, I realize it's a reflection not of my foolishness, but rather a reflection of my capability of love. I don't know if that makes sense, but one thing that I realized that is a very important lesson that I will always hold dearly in my heart. Wow. Okay, some people would ask me, well, whenever I would first meet some people and I would tell them I've never had a boyfriend in my life, I've like, let alone held a hand with a guy before, kissed, nah, no. And they would be shocked, and then they would be like, well, aren't you looking for boyfriends? Like, aren't you single and mingling? I'm like, no, not really. And then I would always tell them, because of the amount of rejections that I've had and the kind of lengths I've done just for people to take a look at me, to notice me, I realize I am somebody capable so much of giving love that the love that I can give is deserving to be given to somebody that is actually deserving of that love. Am I making sense? What I'm trying to say here is I no longer want to keep on pouring out efforts that are possibly going to be put to waste, not unless I'm sure that this person is worthy of the kind of efforts that I'm able to give. And yeah, sure, maybe in the next encounter I'm going to have with a boy, maybe the kind of efforts I'm going to be pouring for him is yet again going to be wasted. But I will be making smarter decisions this time. I definitely think my time alone, the days that I've always spent alone has definitely made me learn that I'm capable of being independent, and I think that's a newfound strength that you garner over the years of being single. And when we meet this right person for us, that's going to be a whole new adjustment. But at the same time, I think this, because of the strength that we've garnered from being independent and from depending on nobody else but ourselves, I think it's going to be easier for us to also stomach the failure or the failed attempt once again in our seeking of love. So yeah, that's my fair share of reflection and thoughts on why I've been single my whole life and why I think it's okay. Honestly, it's a question that's gonna keep on coming back to us every now and then, maybe every birthday that we get from, because we're 20-year-olds, and every year it's gonna feel like the people around us are just getting out there more, gaining partners, and we're gonna be probably losing our girlfriends to their boyfriends. But I don't think there's any point in thinking that at the end of the day it's our fault that nobody looks at us the same way we look at them. It's just that we really haven't found the person that is deserving of the kind of look that we give others, the kind of love and care we give others. For the meantime, while we haven't met the perfect somebody for us yet, I think it's better to allocate the resources, efforts, love, care that we can give that person to ourselves and to whatever aspect of our life that is productive. There's definitely nothing wrong with going out of our way to explore and put ourselves out there and perhaps garner a bigger audience reach of options. But I also think we should just choose our platforms wisely Anyway, to each is their own in that matter, and everybody has their own style of venturing and finding out the perfect experience that is the best for them to know how the world works in terms of romantic relationships. But all I can say is there is nothing beneficial that you can get from jeopardizing your self-worth, self-love, friendships over a man. That's it. That's just my take. So yeah, happy Valentine's, guys. And to my single ladies out there, spend your Valentine's with your girlfriends.